you know that it's gonna be a good video when you've already failed. But hello guys. What's it called? Welcome back to my channel. Though I have not posted in here for a long time. Basically, I could just say that I've been really busy, which I have been, but it's also been because I've been kind of dreading, well not dreading, but procrastinating doing this video, because this is about GCSE Maths, and many people, when I told them how, let me just fix the camera, when I told them how to, like, how I revised maths, they all said, oh, but that technique, it won't work for anyone else. Many people don't work like that. You won't learn anything through that technique. But it really helped me. And I'm not saying that everyone learns the same way, but I'm saying there's some things that I did which I think would benefit others. So I thought I just go ahead and just make it. Like, I've tried to do this video 7 other times, but this time I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna say. So yeah, enjoy. So what I did for maths. So for maths, I have to admit, during GCSE period, like during year 11, is probably one of the subjects I revised the least, because throughout year 10 and 11 and year 9, sort of, so what I do, when I learn things in class, I'd learn the technique, write it down, start doing like practice questions, like, you know, usually what, like those textbook questions, and I just practice it again and again. Then I'd make flashcards of the techniques, like the formulas, the techniques, etc. And I'd always practice them. Like, for example, if I did surds or something, like a month afterwards, I'd also practice it a month, like 2 months later, just to make sure it was fresh in my memory. And I just, when it got to exam season, I just revised my flashcards, and I just found it really helpful. So these are the best tips I can give you. So number 1, before you start learning anything, particularly formulas, know which formulas you need to know, because there's no point like wasting time on formulas that they'll give you in the exam. You can usually find a list of formulas online if you just type in GCSE Maths 921 and then your exam board, and then formulas you need to know, and then they'll give you one, or you can just ask your teachers. I'm sure they'll be happy to give you one. And when you're learning formulas, so learning formulas is really important, like area of a circle, area of a square. Okay, those are simple, but like to more complicated things like the quadratic formula, etc. Try learning them bit by bit, because like, for example, there's no point if it's really long, there's no point trying to like just saying it out loud and then trying to say it again if you know that's not going to be able to. Say, if it was like in 6 parts, try to say the first 2, then the first 3, then the first 4, then the first 5, then the first 6, and then it just gets slowly into your memory, if you get me. And also try before, and also once you get given a format, like in class or through through the internet, like through a video or through a revision guide, when like practice it like at least 5 times before when you've been giving the formula, so then it gets into your memory. And formulas, and not just formulas, but many different facts and formulas. There's many ways you can learn them. You can, one of the things I did, in addition to flashcards, I put many formulas all around the house, like not just maths, like science, English quotes, geography, statistics, classics, facts, etc., etc. It really helped me, because whenever I go, like if I was going up the stairs, there'd be one on the stairs, like the barrister saying something, like I can't remember, or like good places to have it would be the fridge, the cupboard, the place where you brush, like the sink, the place above the sink where you brush your teeth. Like, I know that sounds a bit weird, but the head of maths recommended putting the formula sheet, which was like about 50 formulas all onto an A3 sheet above the place where you do your teeth, which is a good idea, but I just thought that it's too much. So then when you're looking at it, you may not be able to focus on it because there's so much. So if you're gonna do that, do like 3 or 2 or even 1, and you can just change them around. So then whenever you're brushing your teeth, you just look at it and you can like maybe close your eyes and just quietly test yourself. And not just there, like near the door, near the cupboard, etc. But I've already said that. Let me just check in my notebook to see I'm not going off topic. Okay, so now the majority of you are in year 11 watching this, or I presume, and so GCSEs are like 4 months away. Good luck. But for now, the first thing I suggest you to do, prioritize what you know and what you don't know. Like, go through your past papers, like your mock exam, or do a past paper, or do a practice paper, and highlight all the topics that you did not do well on, or that you didn't know, or that you didn't get 100% in, or the ones where you just like guessed, or you like you knew at the time but now you've forgotten, and just make a list of those, and you know that those topics are the ones to prioritize. Like it's all really well, it's all very well. Like if you just thought, oh, I love rearranging formulas, so I'll just practice those. But if you went to an exam and that's the only thing you knew, then you wouldn't be able to get as many marks as you wanted to. So prioritize the things that you don't know, and learn them. Like use ask your teacher to go through them. Use websites such as GCSE Maths and My Maths, or online YouTube videos. Ask a friend who knows, maybe someone who's doing A levels. Like just try to understand. And that brings me on to the next thing, which is practice. So as I said, once you have a formula, like practice it at least 5 times. Like wherever it is, whatever that is, like whether it's trigonometry, whether it's I can't remember maths, sorry, but I haven't done it in like 8 months. But yeah, there's many ways that you can practice. So there's past papers, and I know that this is 9 to 1, but there's not that many past papers. But now there's been 4 sets of GCSE exams, so there's lots. Plus there's the specimen papers, and there's many others like the CGP papers. On Amazon, if you just type up GCSE Maths 9 to 1 Foundation or Higher, practice papers, then they'll have them. There's also your textbook, which has like exam style questions, and there was many websites. Like they gave us like a past paper pack of about 50, which was a lot. I didn't get them all done, but anyway. And also even the old spec. Like I know that won't have everything, but it's better than nothing. So if you've just run out and you really want to do more, or you really think you need to do more, go on the old spec. But there's many others. Like if I showed you all the past papers I had, I recycled a lot because I felt bad for the environment. But if I put them all together, it'd probably be higher than my house. But like for example, here's one that I did not throw away. Like as you can see, there's many practice papers, and these are the CGP ones. Those are really useful, and there's many books as well that are really useful. There's the Snap revision. Like I actually did not end up using it, but they have them for different ones. Like this one's an algebra, and I had the one for English, and I found them so useful. Like they saved my English literature grade. So I presume that these ones are really good. Like I looked for it and they looked really good. And maths, like the CGP ones, these are also really good. Like this one is kind of an exam practice workbook. There's also another one which is just a workbook, which is if you've run out. There's grade 9 targeted ones, and then there's the Math Buster, which the Math Buster I think is the best thing for like testing your knowledge, because not only does it have like little games, so like if you're a bit tired, then you can just go on that, but it's also they have like tests where they just do random questions, and so then if you're thinking, oh, I don't know what I know or what I don't know, or you think, oh my gosh, I have so much to do, I don't know where to start, go get the Math Buster. It's like £10. So I'm sure if you ask your school, usually they sell it at school, so if you ask them, they usually have a discount. But anyway, go on there and see what you don't know, and then prioritize that, and make a list of as I've said, make a list of everything that you don't know or don't know that well, and prioritize that. And also, for everything else, like the things that you know or the things that you find like fun or easy, a tip that I've borrowed from someone else, thank you whoever told me this, prioritize it like at the end, like during exam season, because then during exam season you will be so tired. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but anyway, what's it called? During then, you'll just be so tired. So if you're just doing something relaxing and just to like, there's no point doing it if you already completely know it. But if you just want to refresh your memory, like doing something relaxing and like easy or easier, that would just be really beneficial. And a lot of people asked to see my math flashcards because I lent them out to like some of my friends. These are my math flashcards. So there are a variety of things like I would put the like the technique or the formulas all into flashcards. Like for example, here's a practice questions. And on the back it just says all the steps. And many people are thinking, oh, but you're just like remembering the answers, but you're not remembering the technique. But in my mind, I knew how to get to the answer. Like I'd practice the technique, and even though it'd be with that particular question, it would just really help me. So when I got into the exam, I just knew all the formulas. And there were many others. Like when you're marking your past papers or anything, just learn where you've gone wrong. But also, there's many times when what you've written is right, but it's not in the correct like form. And just check, like the mark scheme is your best friend. And if you don't understand, go to your teacher or tutor or someone in like in the year above who's doing A levels, or someone who's really confident in it or something. Because sometimes examiners can be really fussy about that. So, and you want to get the most marks as you possibly can. So, yes. And this, I think, is a sign that I need to end this. Sorry that this has been really a weird well, not weird video, but it's like been really all over the place. But I hope you found this somewhat useful. But if not, if you have any questions, like feel free to comment them down below, and I'm sure that I will be able to like answer them. I mean, like if it's about revising math, if it's actually about maths, then I can try, but I don't know. What's it called? Also, one thing that I must say before you guys all switch off and do whatever, revise, cry, watch TV, I don't know. But the thing that I should say is everyone learns differently. Like everyone says that my flashcards wouldn't work, but they worked for me, but that doesn't mean that they'll work for everyone else. Like they definitely won't work for everyone else. But if you learn something else, if you learn something in another way, then that's okay. Like don't make anyone tell you that you can't. Unless like deep down you know that's not working for you. But anyway, and also everyone's like